So I created the first layer, like, yeah, spoiler alert, I created my first layer where you can like walk with the party. And you see this is my awesome structures that I've been playing with. And all of a sudden I was like walking over here and then I got stuck in some wall. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I didn't see anything like on the map at all. So I had no idea what I'm like stuck in, and I started researching that issue. I spent I think about an hour trying to figure out what I'm hitting, and then I realized, looking at my remote view over here, that, yeah, well, now you don't really see it, but there was basically all my layers of the game, like my base, my arena, my node exploration, my world map, everything was visible, well, not visible, but held by the system at the same time. So it was like hidden, but the physics of my base, with basically my buildings that I built on a base, that remains. And I was hitting these invisible buildings when I tried to play the map. And I was really frustrated about that. Oh, hello, Kitty. You came here. Hello. You need to see her, so you know what I'm talking about. There you go. Almost. Yeah. There. Yeah, she's my companion. She's working with me all the time. That's how I maintain my sanity. Yeah, so basically I start researching like what the hell that happens, and apparently my AI companion, when we started building the game originally, it made really poor decision keeping like all the game layers always alive and do not like managing scenes properly. So we basically kept like all the resources active, even like monsters and collision boxes and everything, and yeah, it basically leaked into the other layers when I was like walking around them. So I spent the entire day trying to redesign this system. So right now what you can see here, let me actually restart the game because now I've been just rebasing. No, crash. All right. Yeah, I've been rebasing with my main branch. Been working in a separate branch for all these big changes. So basically what I try to pull right now is every single scene, every single node should be on a separate layer, actually except the base, but the base should be also like on a separate like sub viewport or like sub node, meaning that none of the physics from the base layer should leak into the other layers. But there is a like important decision why it still should be available, because the time and like production on the main base should always run no matter where I am, and some events might happen on the main base, and probably later on we should be able to switch between main base and the node to do like some quick action, like manage some things, manage resources on the main base, and then switch back to the node exploration. So to be able to pull that, we'll need to have it's kind of in memory all the time. But yeah, so, and I basically spent the entire day refactoring, maybe like 6 hours. And with the refactoring came a lot of issues, of course. My viewport wasn't correct, the game wouldn't render like to the entire screen. It was always like 640 by 480. Hi Meow. Yeah, I'm just like discussing how I like suffered today. Basically just suffer fast the entire day. I've been so grumpy and disappointed with all this rework I had to do. Yeah, and I'm not done yet. I just decided that it's probably time to... Oh, fuck's sake. Oh. Okay, this alien? Yeah, this is a friendly alien. So my node is empty again. And it says that I'm restarting node without saved node ID. Okay, this one probably is saving issue. Oh, and which I it's probably a saving issue. We try to restart everything. No, nothing works. Also new game doesn't work. Fuck, man, I'm like really frustrated with what's going on. So basically with this like layers refactoring, everything else broke. and like spending the entire evening or the entire day, maybe like since lunchtime. So the refactoring was done quickly, maybe like 2 hours, and then fixing after the refactoring, that was like a sufferfest. And AI is really bad at that. It cannot like properly look back and analyze everything is done and find out all the problems. So we just like keep going back and forth on like stupid things. And most of them like kind of obvious to the level that yeah, to the level that I already like can fix them myself. I know like what's getting broken. Like if we cannot load the level, I'm probably sure that it's a saving issue. Oh, here's the level. Here's the level. All right. Look how my party working. It's actually really satisfying that they are a group of 4, right? But I control them with WASD. And this is basically like one control. And the green boxes, you could see it's collision boxes, and the how do you call that? Cyan. The cyan are occlusion boxes, meaning that if I walk behind this one, I would actually be behind, but that one goes semi-transparent, so you can see like what's going on behind, right? So this is pretty cool. And with the collision boxes, this is fun because, as I said, you see, like I'm managing the entire group of characters with WASD, but if one of them like gets stuck by the corner, the other guys can keep walking, and that's fine. And those will catch up as soon as they can. Like, you see? Okay, rejoin the party. And yeah, let's test full quit. Let's restart the game. Click continue. Yeah. The second issue is after I build the base, I quit the game. I quit the game completely. I restarted the game. I click continue. The game loaded nothing. There was no characters, no buildings, so probably you did not migrate, save and load correctly. Okay, hold on. You need to remove all the legacy references. We do not have this legacy anymore. There should never be the fallback to any legacy stuff. Do the code review to make sure there's no legacy stuff left. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's been a sufferfest trying to migrate to the new system and then fixing these kind of like small errors, because apparently it migrated everything, but like not these 22 files. It's like, fuck, why? Just like my colleagues at work. Oh, I didn't think about this. Is that a problem? Of course it's a problem. Oh my god. Are you going to... Okay, sure. Rewrite without any legacy code. And like wonder, why do you put it in the first place? The game is like 5 days old. Why do you like start bringing up legacy here? It's not legacy. I can just like remove the entire game and rewrite it like from scratch at this stage, right? Probably we will after we like prove the MVP concept and like started doing it for real. Yeah, so freaking annoying. Crazy. Look at this file. Like almost 800 lines of code just to save the game. Yeah, 5 days old. Such a legacy. I should write it in my CV. Proficient working with legacy code. That I wrote yesterday. Yeah. As soon as we merge it, it becomes legacy. Oh my god, now I'm like looking at the changes and why the hell are you doing so many changes, man? Look at that. Legacy layer references. Keep for compatibility during transition. What transition? Like that's me here only working. What transition we talking about? New architecture. Sick. Yeah, generally annoyed. I also discussed that with my friend today, that it felt like today both of us got pretty stupid agents. And we were thinking like, why can that happen? And probably, which is actually, not probably, but plausibly, I think Claude or OpenAI or whoever, like those agent providers, they most likely running, I don't know, 10, 20, 50 different A/B tests every day, tuning and trying different models and see how they perform. And well, on some days you get in like stupid models and you have to deal with that. Yeah. How can I test it? So it made like bunch of classes for that, but I'm not sure it's actually done anything so we can verify the work. It's really, you know, smart and sneaky. Like, I done the work, but you cannot verify it because there is no UI for that. When UI will be done, next sprint. And then you can do nothing. Good question. You are right. I'll read you like how I think AI talks. You are right. The current node has ancient ruin specific content, ruins texture, pillars. I'll create a proper inheritance structure. Enemy placement. I created all the sprints and system, but actually no enemy data resources or enemy placements yet. You cannot verify my job. Sick. So ancient ruin is created. As I expected, it was using the basic node interior scene instead of ancient ruin scene, which is really poor of him, but it basically recreated it, copied the other one. It created enemies for real. Now they're like node patrols, node roamer. I see that you created node patrol, node guard, node roamer. I think these are our archetypes. And for actual enemies, I think you will need to create a specific enemy class, like a river camp guard or the river X-Man or a river leader, a river roamer or whatever. So we're not using the archetype classes, but we actually using specific classes with their specific sprites and maybe extra behavior, right? Am I right? So you see, now like I learned a little bit today, I understand a bit more how it's supposed to work, so I can, you know, guide it better. So it placed a couple of guys in the ancient ruins, which we are going to see now. Leash. I have the plan and enemy references. Okay, hold on, that's the wrong one. You are absolutely right. I created it wrong. Just do it right. I created wrong approach, generic archetype. I think you need to keep the generic archetype because we are going to extend from it later. What you're really missing is you just do not extend them into the specific monsters or enemies. Note enemy data, behavior. Okay, yeah, maybe that's kind of right. That's kind of right. So even better, instead of having archetype for guard, patrol, and roamer, the idea is to create one enemy data class that would be where you will be able to configure all the things as the parameters, like behavior, aggro radius, leash distance, some other data. Yes, I think you need to create, if you don't have yet, node enemy data, as you said, with configurable properties like behavior, aggro radius, leash distance, etc. With the configurable display name, sprites, stats, etc. And then again, as you pointed, you extend this node enemy data into the specific enemy types. So go ahead and work on that. While it's working, we still can play the game, right? We can play the game. We can try to find enemies here. They should be there. Look at this! Almost an orc. Hello. Oot. What? Ooh. These are guards, you see? They're not aggroing at me yet, because I'm too far. Hello. They're really passive. What? Okay, we will need to work on the enemy logic a bit tomorrow, I think. How it works, we have node enemy config, enemy placement, spawns position patrol, stored in trace files, pros, data separate from the scene, easy spawn config, swap config, good for procedural dynamic content, okay. No visual preview, you can see where enemies spawn in editor. Editing position requires opening resource files or code. Patrol paths are now packed vector to array, no visual curve editor. Scene-based markers, other agents approach. Marker 2D nodes for spawn points plus pass nodes for patrol routes directly in the scene. Visual effect, WYSIWYG level design, intuitive for designers, sure. Scene file gets clustered with markers, harder to reuse config across scenes. I mean, yeah. So, data storage add editor tool script that reads marker 2D spawn points from the scene, reads bus 2D patrol routes, exports to not enemy config resource. I honestly like that idea. It sounds pretty cool that I'll be able to put markers on the map where we want to spawn controls for the visual editing, right? And then you should be able to generate data from it. It sounds smart. At least some smart idea today. Okay, get back here. So I think we'll wrap up in a bit, just a couple of minutes, maybe more. And I go to silently code for another half an hour before I go into bed. Sounds like the plan. The plan is here as well. So I guess for some scenes I'll be fine with fully data first structure, and then some other scenes I would like to design myself. So we should be able to merge whatever trace file we have with whatever I designed on the scene. Would it be possible? And expert tools, node interior inspector, editor plugin, scene save. I guess I'm fine with the button. I mean, it would be even finer with automatic regeneration, but who am I to say, right? River camp. Let's go just for the fun's sake to the river camp. Traveling, ding, nothing, because the river camp does not use river camp sprite. They scene. Okay. That makes total sense. Runtime merge, but best of both worlds. Merge spawning at runtime. Enemy spawn manager will read the node enemy config resource. Scan for enemy spawn marker. Merge both to detect duplicates. At which runtime? Hold on, I did not mean at the runtime. I meant when I generate stuff. So I mean, my changes on the scene should not fully override trace file, but they should merge into the existing configuration and trace file. But no runtime analysis. The runtime is as it is right now. Just look at the trace files. Guards. Where I think they want to be. I click Ancient Ruins Interior. I set Enemy Spawn Tools checkbox. It gave me the confirmation that says set export markers to config. That's basically it. And I saved the scene, but I did not get enemies generated. So let's restart again. Continue. Yeah, they should be here. They should like go and attack us immediately, almost. Right? Right. But man, that's pretty cool. So the enemy spawn points. Maybe I put them incorrectly somewhere. It's really nice that I was able to create like the checkboxes here that start generating stuff from my request. Export isn't finding the markers. This is toolscript class detection issue. And yeah, why did not find markers recursively? Properties methods. I don't know. Is it fine that it's a checkbox? There is no output, it just says set export markers to config and that's it. Maybe we should have maybe we should have a button instead in the checkbox. The checkbox doesn't make much sense. So dumb. So dumb. Yeah, okay, so now it's a button. And it does not work. Let's try again. Let's just try random shit. Oh my god. Try it now in line lambda. How many times should I try it now? Weird. 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 Think. Please think. Tool button action null. Did it put the checkbox again? I think it did. Oh, really? Why is it zero checkbox again? Yeah, that's how I spent my day today. That was like back and forth with like stupid AI decisions to do and undo things when it's stuck. Just like, oh yeah, let's just do something differently. And then, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't tell me doing checkbox again. Your checkbox doesn't work either. Changing button to checkbox is not solving your problem, man. Okay, I'm getting frustrated. Nothing works. We have to end this. For today at least. Tomorrow will be a new day. We'll find out how to fix shit. Thanks for joining, staying so long with me, or didn't. Have a good night. See you. Bye.